Welcome to Bourbon School, it's Brian, and today I'm going to give you my list of 6 bourbons. 3 that were really surprising and 3 that were a little disappointing. Coming up next. Okay, so we have tried a lot of new bourbons lately. We've gotten a lot of new bottles. I got a few on vacation. We've had a few sent to us. And there's just been some bottles that have come out at different shops around here that we've really wanted to try. So I've gone and gotten quite a few bottles recently. The shelf's getting a little full. You know, you buy a bottle and sometimes you're like, whoa, I didn't expect this. This is really good. And sometimes your expectations are high and it kind of disappoints. So these are all bottles that I've gotten fairly recently that I thought were either better than I expected and surprised me, or were kind of a letdown because I was disappointed in them. So my first bottle is, let's see, Old Soul. So this is an Old Soul pick that I got in Massachusetts at Cappy's Liquors. It says Distillers Select for Massachusetts, number 003. And I know that Old Soul is MGP sourced bourbon, and we've talked about on the channel in the past about the idea that, like, once you've had a bunch of MGPs, especially around this proof point, which is, you know, maybe 115 to 120, you feel like, well, they're all kind of the same. This one really did surprise me. It's got a really, really nice sweet note to it. I really enjoyed this. You can still tell it's MGP. It does have that MGP flavor profile, but that extra bit of sweetness on this one really hit me as like, whoa, that's unique. And I tend towards a sweeter bourbon, so that one really hit for me. So this Old Soul was one of my surprising bourbons. It really, I really enjoyed it. I wish I could go back to Massachusetts and get another one because, as you can see, we've gotten into it. It's a good bottle, but definitely Old Soul. I'd like to try some more from them, especially some more single barrels. Really good stuff. Next, my other pleasantly surprising one. Actually, this one I don't have, so I'll put a picture right here. It's dling. We got some samples of dling from people because we made a video a while back about non-Kentucky bourbons that we enjoy, and then there were some we wanted to try, and dling was one. And thankfully, you guys were awesome. You sent us several samples of dling, and we tried one about a week and a half ago, and we put out a review of it. And it was the Bourbon for Framley dling single barrel. Oh my goodness, was this thing amazing. The flavor, I said on the review, it's like nothing I've ever had. Like, it was a really interesting and really cool bourbon, and I really, really enjoyed it. And unfortunately, I don't see much dling here in New York, but it's definitely a bottle that if I see it out and about, if I'm in another state, I'm traveling, and I see a dling, it's definitely going to be a grab because this was a delicious, delicious bottle, and I definitely want to try some more from them. So dling's my other pleasantly surprising bottle that I've had recently. Lastly, this one goes back a little bit, but I find myself going back to this one so much and enjoying it so much, especially now in the summer. This is High West. This is the Chardonnay finished whiskey, and I have never been a huge fan of High West. Like, their regular bourbon I don't think is very great. I've had the Midwinter's Night's Dram. I think I said that right. I've had a couple of versions of that, and I've just been like, yeah, this is fine. Like, it never really has knocked my socks off. I've had the Campfire. I hated it. But I think maybe I'm a fan of High West's finishes because I've had a Manhattan barrel bourbon, and I went through 2 bottles of that last winter. It was delicious. And this Chardonnay cask, I love it. I mean, I've gone through quite a bit of this summer, and I'm definitely going to go grab another bottle. It was on our list of summer bourbons. I think it's a great summer bourbon. And it's light, it's sweet, it really does kind of, you get the Chardonnay kind of grapey flavor in a little bit. It's not like the cat pee Chardonnay flavor. It's a really pleasant, sweet, white wine kind of finish to it. This one really, because I didn't have a great impression of High West in the past, this one really did surprise me, and I was really happy with this one. So now we get to the disappointments. And some of these are surprising and some are not. So I'll start with kind of the one that goes the furthest back. A couple months ago, I grabbed this bottle here of Nulu Double Oak. Now, you know that all three of us, myself, Marianne, and Lauren, all love double oaked bourbons. And the fact that this was MGP, I thought, okay, this is like the perfect storm. It's, you know, I love MGP and we all love double oak bourbon. This is going to be great. I cannot tell you how disappointed I was in this bottle. It does not drink like a double oaked at all. It simply just tastes like some, you know, high proof. It's 115, so it's kind of in that range of the MGP that I really enjoy. It just tastes like 115 proof MGP. There is no double oak character to this whatsoever. And I will also tell you, it doesn't even really taste like good MGP. I was not impressed with this at all, especially at the price point that Nulu comes in at. This one was a reduced price and it was still like $70. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. I haven't had any Nulu. And I was sorely disappointed in this. I probably would not buy another bottle of Nulu unless I got a sample from somebody, because this just was a real disappointment, like I said, especially at the price point. So no more Nulu for me. Next, and I don't think this is real controversial, the A124 of Elijah Craig. I thought this was really, really disappointing. This is the first bottle of Elijah Craig barrel proof that I thought was a bad bottle. I've had some that I don't like as much as others. We've had a couple last year. I believe the B batch, initially we drank it and thought it was, whoa, it was way hot and just blew out your palate. This is the first one that I would say is bad. The only time I've ever consumed this is for a video, and I've given some samples. And that's the only time. I have not gone back to this. I don't care to go back to this. I find it to be very disappointing, very thin. The flavor is weird. This just was not a good one for us. So Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A124 was a disappointment. This one is a case where I would say the Larceny A124 is way better than this. If you can find that, go get it. And lastly, one that I was really sad about because I've really taken to Green River. I really like Green River, but this Green River Full Proof, okay? I thought this Green River Full Proof was such a letdown. I have had, there's a store north of us called Grand Wine and Spirits up in Lockport that has a single barrel, and it was delicious. So when Green River put out the Full Proof, I was like, great, this is gonna be great. And it's 117.3 proof. The single barrel I have back here is 119. So it's not that far off, but I actually, we did this in a video, but I'll show you again. Like, look at the difference in the color here. This single barrel is so dark and rich looking. And this is really, I mean, it's darker than maybe an average bourbon, but it's still so much lighter than this. And I'll tell you what, the flavor in this Full Proof was super disappointing. I just thought, what a letdown. I was hoping that this would be a regular shelfer that kind of tended towards that single barrel with that real intense flavor. And this really fell way flat. There is flavor in it, but I think a lot of the flavor is overtaken by the heat. And while that single barrel is hot, that proof point gives you a lot of flavor with it, and this just doesn't. So I was really let down with this one. Again, this is one I probably won't go back too much. We only drank a little. We did this for a video again, and I gave out a couple samples, and that's the only time this has been consumed. And I'm probably not going to consume it. I'm probably going to just sample this out because I was really disappointed and would much rather have gotten another single barrel for $10 more. So there you have it, guys, kind of the sheep and the goats of my bourbon purchases lately. Some bottles I've really, really liked and some that I've really been disappointed in. So first thing I want you guys to do is comment below and let us know what were some of your disappointing bottles you've gotten recently, and maybe some of the ones that pleasantly surprised you. I'd love to hear about that because I'm always looking for a good bottle that maybe I don't know of or have never had that I really need to add to my collection. So let us know in the comments what some of those bottles are for you. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another episode of Bourbon School. Thanks for watching, guys, and cheers.